So there was a contest about who could state the strongest and the most powerfully the Psalms 23. And so an actor that was very seasoned, he had been practicing quite a good bit, watching himself on YouTube. He was very impressed with himself. And so he stood up and he said, "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures." And he goes on and on. And everybody goes, "That's nice, thank you." And then an elderly man from the back walks up with a cane. "The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want." People began to cry. He could hardly get through it. They were crying so much. And when he finished, they gave him a standing ovation that would last to memory. And the young actor went over to the man and said, "What is the difference? I don't understand the difference. I've been practicing." He said, "Son, you know Psalms 23. I know the shepherd. I know the shepherd." When we look at our purpose as far as spiritual practice, I'm not talking about your purpose because you are the purpose. As you're paying attention to your life, every knock on the door is your purpose. A purpose is never anything that is separate from you. Otherwise, it's a career or a business card. But being full of spirit, you see, you live in a place of purpose. And when we look at Psalms 23 and we look at the fact of the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, and how I am made and what I am here to be, you see so many people use Psalm 23 to speak eloquently at a memorial service when it's really about get alive in your life is what it's about. Your soul is always being retrieved. You're always by the water. And it also tells you very clearly that yea, you that may walk through the valley of the shadow of death. It doesn't say some of us will walk there. It implies that we will all be walking there at some point or many times in our lifetime, that we are walking right on that edge of death, meaning that we are recreating ourselves through the very nature of the circumstances and the situations and the challenges that we go through, you see. It does not say, and yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I have to build and purchase a permanent condominium there. But it does say that we will go there. And we will be in that shadow part. And from that is what comes death. You see, traditional Christianity, in my opinion, having been involved with it at one time, which is why I'm not now, is that it does an immense disservice to disempower people that say, you know, be happy and make a joyful noise, and all this trouble you have in your life, it's implied that you created, and also don't talk about it because God would never give you more than you could handle. What's up with you? You see, it's like people act like you're giving it in bucket loads. Well, you know, you're given a lot, but you can handle it. We are not people being done unto. And we do a tremendous disservice to people when we imply that you are people that are being done unto, that your card has been picked and you're going to have all this stuff dumped in your life. It's not like that at all. And then there was an era of the nouveau New Thoughters that did a disservice, my humble opinion, but it's my birthday, so that's where I'm going. So New Thoughters did a disservice to the original root ideas of New Thought because they implied this new stuff about you attract everything in your life and everything is your fault. And if it's in your life, then you caused it. Now let me tell you something. Let's practice common sense. Who do you know intentionally that would attract a problem that they don't want? Who do you know that would attract a child that's having problems or on drugs? And they say, well, I attracted that. Folks, that's metaphysical malpractice, and it must stop. Nobody consciously attracts these things in their lives. Maybe on a soul agreement that they don't remember, they said, I want to develop and I want to have lots of depth. Maybe on that level, but not on a conscious level. And our work then is to allow things to happen in our lives, because they will happen in our lives. And if you go to 3 classes, you come here on 2 Sundays and you tithe your check and you think you're never going to have any problems again, well, welcome to sobriety, people. I mean, it's like, because we are human beings. We're human beings. And so what we learn to do is not say we're given more than we can handle, is not to say, why did I attract this? We're here to say, what opportunity do I have to sit in this shadow? And I'm going to sit there. I might even buy a journal specifically and name it, John, Tom, breakup, job I don't like, or whatever. But I am going to do my work. I'm going to do my work, because when I do my work, there's going to be so much more of me on the other side. Do you understand the difference? Do you see the difference? Because when you won't let yourself go there, when you won't let yourself be in the shadow, when you say, oh, I'm supposed to be all happy and all that, when you won't be all that, you're missing out on this rich part of you. I was so fortunate last week in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, 2 hours behind, that I got to watch this service. And I cried. I was spiritually fed. I was so touched, because I thought that would be a place I would love to go to. And when I saw Reverend Wanda Nero Butler, I said, that's depth. When somebody can teach like that and do what she did, that's depth. You don't buy that in a class. You buy that with your life. When I think of her, just as an example of profoundness, of all the places she's been to sing and perform, that the people have squashed her. When I think of all the opportunities she's had to shine, and because of people being insecure and uncomfortable with who they are, they wouldn't let her do so. And you look at who she is as a butterfly. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, it's amazing. So she is out of the closet now. And we couldn't be more moved and more thrilled. It's your best day when you see people that have taken your baby and made it more than you could. It's your best day. Your best day. Yeah. When we think of life, what helps us move through some of those challenging times is for us to also balance it out with a place of gratitude. Well, I know I can make it because I've made it before. I know I can make it because look at the good friends I have. I know I can make it because I have a spiritual community. I know I can make it because I believe in myself. Say that with me. I know I can make it because I believe in myself. Let's be more impressive. I know I can make it because I believe in myself. So there's the gratitude of that, and you learn to remember in your life as you look at your life multidimensionally And you know you can make it because you look at all those windows that you have made it up till now. And you will make it through anything because it is Christ in you, your hope and glory, because it is an essence that is bigger and greater than you've ever been, that is growing you in its development, you see. And there's things in your life that you want. And maybe perhaps some of you are out there and you want something right now and you don't have it. It's not about what you want that you don't have. It's more about why do you want it and the value that will give you in having it once you get it. And so if you're looking at your wanting, ask yourself and do the inner work, why do you want it? Because that's the part you need to come true to in order that you have it, you see. I was 45 when I met the love of my life. 45. I didn't say 4 + 5 = 9. I said 45. Right? At 23 years old, I was told by a psychic at a Unity in the Carolinas that I would one day find a piece of lapis that I would know was my own at 23 years old. That was 38 years ago. This weekend, an artist brought me this piece of jewelry that is a piece of lapis, that is also a pyramid, that is also the Unity wings. Wow. It's so amazing, your love for me. It's so amazing, sacrifice for me. I don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere. Anyway. But I was told at 5 that I would find my people. And hold on. Don't give away my line. Okay. I was told at 5 that I would find my people. I met you at 44. I'm saying these things not to impress you, but to impress upon you your wants are going to occur. They always will, they always have, but it's learning to celebrate as if you already have them as you prepare yourself of what it's going to be like. I am so in love with you that it's like there ought to be another word than love. You see that, you feel that. I mean, there's just such a love and appreciation and sense of amazing energy when I look at all of you and your becomingness. Right there to the heart. That's what we're here for. It's the greatest hope that by crossing someone's lane or someone's life, that their life can be better because we actually showed up. You know? It's what we're about. I think of just being grateful to be alive. I think of the true misunderstanding or not understanding how anyone could take life for granted. One of the greatest stories I heard was Dr. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind. He hung out with an entourage, but during the day he hung out with anything and anyone. That was what he was there. He was a messenger for life. And he used to go to the drugstore every afternoon near headquarters. He loved ice cream. A lot of spiritual people do. We just have to do other things now. He loved ice cream. He'd go sit down and have his ice cream. And as he was there, he noticed on the side was a man that was quite drunk, sloppy, noisy, etc. And rather than avoid him, rather than go, "You're not Science of Mind," or "Why did you attract that?" he went and sat down right beside him. He sat down and he held space right beside this man. And he says, "Sir, could I buy you a cup of coffee?" He says, "Oh, that'd be great." So he starts to sober him up. "And tell me about you. What do you do?" He says, "Oh, I used to be. I haven't for a long time. I make signs." "Oh, you make signs? Oh, you could make signs now." So Ernest goes to the manager of the store and he says, "I see you've got a lot of things on sale. Could you use a few signs?" My friend here is a sign painter. And the man goes, well, I could. He said, do one, let me see it. He looks, he went, oh, that's amazing. I'd love you to do this one and that one and this one and that one. And Ernest said, well, how much you going to pay him? So Ernest goes on his way. A few weeks later, in walks a man. In walks a man with a suit that he had got at the consignment store and his tie, shoulders back. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you. Thank you that you saw me. And Ernest says, come get in the car. Takes him up on the hill, sees an available storefront for lease. He says, can you do this? And the man said, yes. And Ernest paid the lease for a year so that man could operate for many years. He had one of the largest sign businesses in the city. So. I could have been that person there, sitting by Ernest at that one time. Some of you could. The glory is that as we walk through the shadows of our lives, it prepares and develops us so much that it is transformative. That by the very nature of being in any of our essences and our aura and our essence and our being, they may not be transformed that second, but there is a seed that is implanted within them that it will show up and it will come. And it will manifest in their lives because that is what we are here to be and to do, you see. Wow. The amazing you. The power of love. We had about 150 people here yesterday, all day, with Master Patraji from India, and many people here from India and from all over the world, and many of our own community were here. And we looked at the value of a pyramid and etc. And it was fantastic. I'm like you. I always say amazing too. See, I do that too. So anyway, because everything here is amazing. So, but anyway, he told us a little story that I wanted to share with you. Is that, you know, children are fascinated, I think, with two things, and one is dinosaurs. You know, we've talked about that before, but they're also fascinated with high five. I mean, it's like one of the first things they learn is high five, right? Put up your hand, high five. High five. So the master said yesterday, Patraji, that to remember it this way, high five. This is your body, this is your mind, this is your intellect, this is your soul, and this is you as God. You are your body, your mind, your intellect, your soul, God. Ready? You are your body, your mind, your intellect, your soul, God. You are God. Thumbs up. Wow. Imagine that. And in each and every lifetime, the only two that change are your body and your mind. Right? The rest of you, your DNA, your imprint, your energy, your essence, your soul, you just keep coming into this journey that we call life. We call life. Thank you for doing life with me. Bless you.